Hello friends, welcome to my Oral Surgery and Beyond YouTube channel. Today's topic is local anesthesia in dentistry. Myself, I am a Dr. Hemant Bhavnerkar. I am a Mumbai-based oral and maxillofacial surgeon. As we know, local anesthesia has a very vital role in our dental procedures. Without local anesthesia, we cannot do any dental procedure without a painless, right? So for painless local anesthesia technique, we have to know the what is the mechanism of action of local anesthesia, what are the different types of local anesthesia, what are the different drugs used for local anesthesia, a bit about the local anesthesia history, and the different techniques used for the local anesthesia, like for maxillary and for mandibular nerve blocks, and the extraoral and intraoral nerve blocks, and the different armamentarium used, right? So we are going to see all these topics in our today's local anesthesia lecture. As this is a we know this is a very vast topic, so we are divided the total session in the four main small videos, so you can able to listen this my small videos at any time whenever you get a time. Okay, so before we start, those audience are not subscribed to my oral surgery and beyond YouTube channel, kindly subscribe my channel for more free learning oral surgery topics. Okay, let us start. Local anesthesia. In my sessions, I am going to include introduction, a definition of local anesthesia, a brief history, a neurophysiology of the local anesthesia, a classification of local anesthesia, its mechanism of action, its pharmacology of a vasoconstrictor used in local anesthesia, its indication, different types of local anesthesia, different techniques and complication, and its management. Okay, let us start. Introduction. As we know, local anesthesia is a very important drug to do a painless dental surgeries or the painless dental procedure. Some actually, as we know, many patients are having a serious phobia regarding the dental pain, so that's why they avoid to go to a dentist. A famous author is given a very nice quote that some pains are physical, some pains are mental, but the pain which is both physical and mental is dental, right? For avoiding this, both the physical and mental pain, we have to use a good anesthesia techniques. So, for such a good local anesthesia drug, what are the ideal property our local anesthesia drug should possess, right? So, its action must be a reversible. Means after local anesthesia, its effect should be for some times, and after our procedure, its effect should go, right? So, it should be a reversible. Then non-irritating to the tissue and produce no secondary local risk. It means after giving a local anesthesia, there should be no permanent damage or no permanent changes in the tissue where we injected the local anesthesia. Low degree of systemic toxicity. It means it should not harm our vital organs. Rapid onset and sufficient duration of action. It means that after giving local anesthesia, it should start work immediately, and it should having a effects for minimum hour or two, right? Potent to provide a complete anesthesia. It means it should be give a total painless effect to the patient. Sufficient penetration properties. It means it should be penetrate within a tissue and it's give a good effect. Relative free from the production of allergic risk. As I said earlier, it should not produce any kind of systemic toxicity or the local toxicity or any kind of allergies. Stable in a solution and undergo transformation rapidly. The solution should be stable and easily available, easy to produce and easy to use. Either be it should be sterile and to be capable being a sterilite. So the solution should be, we should keep in a normal vial, or it should be we can keep at the local temperature, and it should be sterile. Before surgery we should able to sterilize it. After sterilization of the cartridges, we should not having any kind of different effect on the solution, right? So these are the main properties of local anesthesia. Ideally, what should be the definition of the local anesthesia? In different books there are many different kind of definitions are given. The some few famous authors are given a famous definition. Let us see what are they are. Daniel Laskin is given a very nice definition. It's defined as a transient regional loss of sensation to the painful or potential painful stimulus resulting from the reversible interruption of the peripheral conduction along a specific neural pathway to its central intrinsial and the perception in the brain, right? So it should, so our local anesthesia should a, produce such effect that our brain should not get a painful stimuli, right? For next, Stanley Malamed has given another good definition that local anesthesia has been defined as a loss of sensation in a circumscribed area of the body caused by a depression of the excitation in nerve endings or an inhibition of the conduction process in the peripheral nerves. It means after giving a local anesthesia, the local anesthesia effect means their nerve should not produce any kind of stimulus to the brain, whether it's a good or bad, whether it's a pain or anything else, right? So after the anesthesia definition, let's see what are the history of the local anesthesia. As we know, that discovery of the local anesthesia is from for last century only. It's not very old drug. Then the as we know that there is a needle and the syringe is almost developed in 1852. Then the cocaine is the first local anesthetic drug is invented or the found in almost in last century. Then some literature suggested that there is a in historic era in 1530s there is a use of some solution they have used the ancient people that causes a local anesthesia effect. As we also know that in our Hindu literature, the Susrut Samhita also having some kind of drug mentioned that that ancient Sushrusha you use for the local surgeries of hand and leg and eyes, and during that surgery the patient feeling no pain. So this kind of some history we should know. Then let us see what is the cocaine first drug to use in history. That drug is very first time used in 1880, and that study effect the cocaine is give the such kind of effect to the brain that patient does not feel anything, but it having a hallucinating its effect and some kind of bad effect also. I am not going in a detail of this history. As we know that cocaine having a euphoric effect, but it is not controllable as suggested in the Sigmund Freud's books. Then the need of less toxic drug is required and identified by the scientists of that eras. Then in 1898, Etheron synthesized the first amino amide L-A-nirvaquinone in that irritant to the local tissue, but that irritant to the local tissue. Then in 1890, Then benzocaine and the procaine is invented, and that is started used in local anesthesia. Then lidocaine is very comparatively younger drug, is prepared in 1944. First amide local anesthetic used clinically by the Lofgren in 1948. It's widely employed for its potency, rapid onset, peripheral nerve block, and the both epidural and the spinal anesthesia also. Let us see what is the neurophysiology of the local anesthesia. As we know, the concept of mechanism after local anesthesia is that the sodium and potassium molecule changes, action potential changes, and as we know, there is a effect is at the cellular level. So as a electrophysiology of nerve conduction, we know, I am going in brief, as it's we should know this theory in brief, that in resting potential the sodium is outside the inside the cell, and when there is a action of the local anesthesia, it's stop the conduction of sodium inside and the potassium outside, and it's blocks the its action potential, and the polarization and repolarization mechanism happen, and the local anesthesia is act. As we know, this all things happen at the side of the local anesthesia only, and it is affect its act mostly because of the lower the rate of the depolarization happen, and the prolonging the rate of repolarization. This same mechanism are proposed in the different theories in different manner. These are the main five main theories is reported in the literature. One is acetylcholine theory, second is calcium displacement theory, third is the surface charge theory, next is a membrane expansion theory, and the specific receptor theory. Most important theory is calcium displacement theory and the membrane expansion theory. As we know how the local anesthesia work, as I said earlier, the sequence is that the displacement of calcium and the sodium channel receptor at the site of the injection, and it's bind the local anesthesia molecule. So the blockage of sodium channels mobilization is happen, so the decrease in sodium conducted to leads to the depression of the rate of electrical depolarization happens, and the failure to achieve this kind of effect, and the depolarization, the lack of development of propagation of action potential happen, and it's ultimately cause the conduction blockage of the nerve sensation. So in this way, the local anesthesia effect is we can achieve at the cellular level. These are the some active forms of local anesthesia: tertiary amines and the secondary amines are there, and these are the ester local structure of ester and the amide local anesthesia. As we know, these are the most important local anesthesia we use in our medical field. The some properties of local anesthesia are these are mostly amphipathic nature, and is having the ester readily hydration. Why the as we know the why the it's having this effect because of its pH, and the pH of the this solution is almost 3.3 to 4, in between that point. One more thing is need to be emphasized, that local anesthesia is mostly effective, and it's reversible because of its action potential and depolarization effect. Let us move to the pharmacology of local anesthesia. Generally, in our local anesthesia, we use is a lignocaine hydrochloride. Almost all the dental clinics having a lignocaine or the articaine or the bupivacaine, three drugs only. Mostly 99% of the dental clinics using a local anesthesia. In our local anesthesia, while these are the main composition we are able to read. Let us see what are the composition of local anesthesia solution. This composition is for the 1 ml of the local anesthesia. For 1 ml of the local anesthesia, lignocaine hydrochloride as an anesthetic drug, it is having a 24.64 milligram, 2% of the local anesthesia. Then the adrenaline is almost 0.0125 milligram, 1 is to 80,000 or 1 is to 1 lakh of vasoconstrictor dilution. Sodium metabisulfite, it's a reducing agent, is almost of 0.5 milligram in 1 ml. Then methyl paraben is as a preservative is almost 1 milligram in 1 ml. Then thymol is a fungicide is almost also 1 milligram in 1 ml. Then the distilled water as a soluble solution as a vehicle is almost 100 ml in 1 milligram. Then the pharmacokinetics, as we know that the absorption of the local anesthesia is the site of injection is readily happened, and some local anesthesia may be absorbed in the toxic amount after the topical use. Then absorption after the injection depends on the drug solubility in the lipid and the water tissue vascularity, and the local anesthetic and vasoconstrictor effect on the local circulation happen. The metabolism and the excretion of the local anesthesia, as we know that esters are the hydrolyzed by plasma in the liver, esterase, and the longer acting esters are often metabolized more slowly. Patients with the altered pseudocholinesterase activity may be highly sensitive to these kind of the drugs. Amides are metabolized in the liver, so the patients with the severe hepatic damage or the adverse congestive heart failure may be unusually sensitive to these kind of drugs. For so this is a alarming sign, and in such a patient we should use the local anesthesia very judiciously, or we should use the different molecules. Some amides are partially excreted and unchained in the urine also. Then let us see the what are the systemic action of the local anesthesia in CNS, central nervous system. Though in low level there is no action, then in toxic dosage toxic choline convulsions happen. In blood almost 0.5 to 4 milligram per ml having cause no complications. So in more there is a chances of some tonic clonic seizures happen to the patients. So in the blood if there is a 7.5 milligram per ml lignocaine goes, then the chances of seizures are there. And anticonvulsant property is also there, but in very low doses. Then what is effect on CVS? Mostly there is a very mild effect on the heart, but there is a tone of contraction is there at the toxic level. Clinically effective level is 1.8 to 5 milligram per level, anti-rhythmic, and used in premature ventricular contractures and arrhythmias also. In that cases it's also injected in a intravenous line. Action on vasculature, there is in normal volume there is no changes. In overdoses hypotension can happen. Lethal doses in cardiovascular collapse is also happen. Action on respiratory system, in normal levels there is no major problem on the CNS, but in overdoses there is a depression can happen. Clinical significance, least toxic LA is a fluchlorpropamine, and most toxic LA is tetracaine. If allergic to LA, then diphenhydramine and the antihistaminic and mild anesthetic we can use. So we should know that if the patient is allergic to amide or ester, both the molecules, then we can use the diphenhydramine as a local anesthetic action, or the other options are conscious sedation or nitrous oxide gases, or the general anesthesia only. For children, true chlorpropamine is a safer drug. Let us see what is the lignocaine and its property. As we know, it's a amide drug. And it's invented in 1943, and Neil Lofgren's is introduced in dentistry in 1948. It's metabolized in liver by microsomal fixed functional oxidase and monoethyl glycemic and xylidine conversion. then its excretion is mostly through the liver and the urine only. Only recommended doses is 7.1 milligram kg and should not exceed more than 5 milligram with vasoconstrictor 4.4 milligram per kg, and the dose should not exceeded more than 300 milligram. For children with vasoconstriction 3.2 milligram per kg is the dose. It is a non-allergic, available in three forms. Formulation is available in market is lignocaine 2% without a vasoconstriction, means without adrenaline. With adrenaline, 1 is to 80,000 concentration, 1 is to 1 lakh concentration, and 1 is to 2 lakh concentration. Adverse reaction is CNS stimulation, then depression overdoses causes unconsciousness and respiratory arresters, but that is in very rare condition. Then next important drug we use in dentistry is a bupivacaine. As we know, it's one of the amide group. Its toxicity is four times than lignocaine and mepivacaine, and it's long acting anesthetic agents. It's metabolized in the liver also and is excretion through the kidney. Vasodilation is relatively significant in this case. This pK is 8.1 pH. pH onset of action is 6 to 10 minutes. Action anesthetic half-life is 2.7 hours almost. So its total effect is mostly 4 to 6 hours, and its maximum dose should not exceed 40 milligram. It's available as of 0.5 percent solution in 1 is to 2 lakh with vasoconstrictor. Indication pulpal anesthesia procedure more than 90 minutes, full mouth reconstruction cases, extensive perio surgery, management of post operative pain in general anesthesia cases. Duration pulpal 90 to 180 minutes, and the soft tissue general anesthesia, it's long acting. As we know, it's produce almost 8 to 12 hours of local anesthesia. Contraindication is burning sensation at the site of injection in children and anticipating self trauma cases. Then next most important local anesthesia we use in dentistry is the articaine. It's a amide lignocaine. It's a short acting local anesthesia. And it's very potent. And then it's neurotoxic, as we know. Its half life is 1.2 to 2 hours. Maximum dose is 1 milligram per kg, and dogs should not be exceed more than 500 milligram kg. First tail agent with the theophylline ring, its little potential to diffuse through the soft tissue. Adverse reaction in methylhemoglobinemia RX. Treatment by using methylene blue is given if happens. Pharmacology of vasoconstriction. As we know, we use the local anesthesia with the vasoconstriction. As we know, the action of vasoconstriction is to reduce the blood supply and to increase the effect of the local anesthesia for more time, and to reduce the toxicity and prevent the anaphylactic reaction. As we know, adrenaline is a drug of choice for anaphylactic reaction. Let us know about some properties of the adrenaline. As we know, the adrenaline is most commonly used as vasoconstrictor in local anesthesia, and it's a CNS stimulator. So we should use judiciously. As we know, that its use is mostly to prevent the bleeding during the procedure, and to prevent the anaphylactic reaction happening due to allergic reaction to the anesthesia. So whenever you use the first time of local anesthesia to any new patients, we should take a drug sensitivity dose test on the skin, or it's also known as a patch test. Also, one also octopressin is one of the also one good vasoconstrictor we can use in a local anesthesia, but mostly this used in foreign countries. let us see the classification of local anesthesia. As we know, the according to chemical composition, the local anesthesia is divided in ester and amide groups. The ester groups are cocaine, procaine, chlorprocaine, tetracaine, benzocaine. Then amide linked groups are lignocaine, prilocaine, bupivacaine, ropivacaine, dibucaine, and then the quinolone derivatives is centabustracide. And according to route of administration, local anesthesia is also divided into injectable and the surface or the topical local anesthetic action. According to duration of action, local anesthesia also divided into short duration, intermediate duration, and the long duration. As we know, the short duration local anesthetic is the procaine, and the long duration of the local anesthetic is bupivacaine. According to type, natural and semi-synthetic, it's also divided. Then according to site of action is also divided at the receptor side, intra-receptor side, and the receptor independent side. These are a few classification we can able to see in the literatures of the pharmacology books. Then armamentarium use, as we know, we use a syringe and needle to administer the local anesthesia in oral procedure and dental procedure. The non-disposable syringe previously used, but now we use a disposable syringe only. A syringe only. This kind of the cartridge injectors and the self-aspirating syringes are available in the market. Then the jet injectors are also available. This is for used in advanced painless dental procedures. Some advantage are they do not require any needle. Then delivery point is very small and it's mostly used as a topical anesthesia only. But disadvantage is it cannot give for a pulpar nerve block, and it's cost effective and may sometime give the not effective local anesthesia also. Then the injector points or the pain point or CC-LAD unit is also used for the pain free local anesthesia injector units. Then the some needles we use, bevel needles we use for the local anesthesia injection. So bevel is we can place like this between the oral mucous membrane and the bones, so the absorption of the local anesthesia is a fully formation. So in my today's session we are having did the brief history of the local anesthesia drug, its mechanism of action, its pharmacology, and the different classification of the local anesthesia. In my next session I will tell the different type of regional anesthesia, different types of local anesthesia, nerve blocks for maxilla and the mandible, what are the procedure of the local anesthesia, intraoral procedures and extraoral procedure, and what could be the complication of local anesthesia during procedure and how to deal with it. So for the learning the local anesthesia in detail, kindly subscribe my oral surgery and beyond YouTube channel. Thank you for today. Stay tuned for the part 2 of the local anesthesia lecture. Thank you for today.